Taiwan. I'm Brossard with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. We begin with a developing story here in Taipei. A man has been arrested after shooting at a government ministry building in the capital. Sally Jensen is at the scene now. Sally, what do we know?
Well, what we know so far is that around 10 a.m. on Thursday morning, a man opened fire with a shotgun inside this government ministry building behind me. This is the Ministry of Digital Affairs here in the capital city, Taipei. And he ran in with the shotgun and fired 3 shots, completely smashing the front door of the building, which is made of glass and has been shuttered behind me, as you can see, and damaging the wall inside the building. Now, security guards managed to stop him as he tried to rush upstairs, and they called the police, who arrived promptly and arrested the man and took him into custody. Meanwhile, employees inside the building were evacuated. Nobody was injured or hurt. The police have retrieved 2 guns that were used in the incident. And apparently the man was shouting anti-government slogans as he carried out the attack. But at this point in time, we have no further details as to the full motivation behind his attack. But the ministry is cooperating closely with the police to investigate this case further.
Thank you, Sally. That was Sally Jensen, live in Taipei. Taiwan is creating 700 emergency satellite hotspots around the country. They are designed to keep government and military communications from breaking down in emergencies and war. The digital ministry says the hotspots could be in place by the end of the year. A visiting U.S. lawmaker has reiterated his country's commitment to deepening strategic ties with Taiwan. Republican Representative Jack Bergman made the remarks during a meeting with President Tsai Ing-wen in Taipei. Bergman is in Taiwan as part of a bipartisan congressional delegation. The other 2 Congress members in the group say they will meet with U.S. personnel during their visit, but did not say whether the people they're meeting are military or civilian. Bergman also pledged continued congressional support for Taiwan amid growing geopolitical tensions.
This includes a strong Taiwan maritime strategy and how we can work together on shared goals to counter China on their increasingly aggressive actions in the region.
Taiwan's military says it's planning to build a drone training center to teach its soldiers how to fly unmanned systems. As Jaime Ocon explains, it's part of efforts to modernize the country's armed forces.
Taiwan is on track to create what it's calling a drone fleet. An army of unmanned systems that can help the military with a variety of operations. But as more drones are produced, the need for drone operators is also increasing, and there are concerns that Taiwan won't have enough people to fly these systems. Taiwan's defense minister says the military is creating a drone training center to address the issue.
这无人机获得多少，人员就给它迅速多少，这是我最基本的目标。操作手要多无人机，我不要看嘛啊，我们期望这样子，但一定是让这个无人机操作是绝对没有顾虑，不会去抓个人来操作，都是经过训练。
Taiwan is planning to procure more than 3,000 domestically made unmanned aerial systems. But currently, there are only 210 drone operators in the military. The armed forces say they'll work with private companies to help train at least 1,000 operators. Drones could be a way of evening the odds and preventing a possible invasion.
One of the things I can imagine is trying to really flood the skies with drones over an invasion beach in the littoral waters near an invasion beach to not only provide intelligence, but essentially to provide another sense of like constant threat to those invading forces.
But analysts say that Taiwan will need to consider the different kinds of drones it will have in its arsenal when it comes to training its operators. Drones, like this mini helicopter, which only have a camera, are very different from this US-made Sea Guardian drone, which is equipped with missiles.
Learning how to take off and land, for example, takes some time. And also just learning how to operate it effectively, how to identify targets that you're looking at. All of that takes some time. It's not going to necessarily be one course that fits all.
But no matter what drones Taiwan has access to, without enough operators, they won't be effective, making the push to speed up training more important than ever. John Su and Jaime Okan for TaiwanPlus.
Health inspectors investigating a food poisoning case that left 2 people dead and 4 in critical condition are testing a Noodle supplier's products for contamination. All of those who died or fell ill after eating at a Taipei branch of the Polam Kopitiam restaurant had ordered noodle dishes. Inspectors have ordered the restaurant's noodle supplier to stop sales and told the company's other customers to stop serving its products. New cases of illness are still emerging, including people from outside the Taipei area. Some doctors believe a deadly toxin called bongkrek acid may have formed in improperly stored noodles, but officials say they're still considering all possibilities. A Taiwanese child welfare NGO has apologized for the death of an infant under its care last year. The Child Welfare League Foundation had placed the 1-year-old in foster care and assigned a social worker to monitor his case. Prosecutors allege an abusive nanny killed the infant and suspect the social worker of neglect. It's led to heightened vigilance for other possible cases of child abuse and calls for changes to child welfare procedures. At a press conference, the foundation's board members apologized for the incident but did not take any questions. They announced through a statement afterwards that the current chair will step down and they'll choose a replacement in April. Japan is set to upgrade 16 ports and airports across the country as concerns grow over regional security. The facilities will be equipped for use by Japan's self-defense forces and Coast Guard. Over half are located in the southwestern part of the country, with one just 230 kilometers east of Taiwan. Japan has recently been beefing up its defenses near this potential flashpoint. The plan has already received local approval and is set to get the green light from cabinet ministers at an upcoming meeting, with a budget of $230 million expected for year 1. The Bangkok International Motor Show has opened its doors, with car manufacturers from across the globe showing off their newest designs. This year, China's electric vehicle models have taken the spotlight as the country's brands attempt to bolster their presence in Southeast Asia. Rosie Greninger reports.
A roaring start to the Bangkok Motor Show, as automotive manufacturers unveil their latest glittering models to the Thailand market. Electric vehicles are centre stage. The main attraction, a futuristic flying car made by Chinese startup XPeng. The vehicle can be flown in China, but does not yet have a license to fly in Thailand.
Before now, it has been pretty much fierce competition already, but you can see a lot of price war going on in the Chinese EV market. For us, we are pretty confident that we are new and good option addition to the whole market because we introduced something totally new.
They are not the only Chinese electric line on offer. New models from prominent brands BYD and Zeekr, among others, are also featured. Electric vehicles from China already dominate 80% of the Thailand market. Unlike their competitors from the US who aim for luxury, these EV Chinese brands are focusing on small, affordable cars within the price range of consumers in Asia, Africa, and Latin America, among others. And as demand dwindles for EV cars in both the US and China, growth continues in other parts of the world, especially Southeast Asia. With Thailand accounting for 58% of all EV sales in the region in 2022. This Bangkok show is being used to compete for market share and challenge the traditional dominance of other Asian and Western models.
We will start with at least 10 showrooms, mainly in Bangkok, and step by step, we're going to expand our network to the other major cities in Thailand, like Chiang Mai.
And China is not the only country revving their engines to expand their presence throughout the global south. Vietnamese automaker VinFast unveiled plans to sell electric vehicles in Thailand at this show, and they say they aren't concerned by rivals.
They are very excited, and from the very first day I arrived here, I've been well received by the dealers, and so far managed to sign several agreements, and we look forward to them opening our showroom in the next 2 months and start selling the cars.
With Chinese brands setting up manufacturing within Thailand as a springboard to the rest of Southeast Asia, the country is becoming the scene of the power shift in the region's growing electric vehicle market. Facing that fierce competition, manufacturers here at the Bangkok Auto Show are pulling out all stops to impress buyers with their latest designs to gain any advantage in the region. Dolphine Chen and Rosie Greninger for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's indigenous communities are known for their music and dancing, but now one group is combining traditional culture with hip-hop and street dance. Louise Watt traveled to the rural county of Taidong to find out more.
Come on, baby,
Each Saturday morning, these Indigenous Taiwan children gather in a classroom in their remote village in eastern Taiwan to learn street dance. It's a rare opportunity to develop performance skills and open their minds to future possibilities.
我想当舞者，我喜欢跳，就是一个运动，能让我扭来扭去，很开心可以跟大家一起跳舞。
They're being taught by 46-year-old Kulasai, who's Indigenous too. He previously worked as a choreographer for Taiwanese superstar Jay Chou and a backing dancer for Singaporean singer JJ Lin. Now, Kulasai and his wife have started a school here in Taidong County to give Indigenous children in one of Taiwan's poorest areas an outlet for their budding talents.
他真的想从事这一方面的话，我这么小在教他的时候，对他会有一些帮助，跟他让他有一些信心。 还有在周末的时候，可以陪他们，不要只是在家里玩手机，来这边跟我一起学跳舞。
Some of Taiwan's biggest-selling singers are Indigenous, but many of them were only discovered once they'd moved to one of the big cities, having left behind their hometowns. Many Indigenous communities like this one are in the mountains and far from cities, which leaves children with fewer educational resources and fewer chances to take part in extracurricular activities to develop other skills. Kulasai's street dance classes also incorporate Taiwanese Indigenous songs and dances. The word bai is an Indigenous Taiwan expression of surprise. Kulasai and his wife Biang Tong have taught hundreds of children street dance and hip-hop and say it's a good vehicle to integrate and showcase traditional Indigenous culture.
那我们就是截取他们的一些部分的舞蹈，可能就是简单的踏步啊或什么的，然后跟我觉得它其实很好跟美国嘻哈文化是很好的结合，觉得它其实本质上没有差太多，就都是平常生活，就是以前祖先教导的东西，或是以前长辈流传下来的东西。
Step by step, this version of street dance, mixing in traditional culture, is helping children here develop not only their stage talent, but also their own modern Indigenous identities, growing their confidence to tread their own course in life. Klein Wong and Louise Watt for TaiwanPlus.
Thanks for joining us on What's Up Taiwan. Check out the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally today, this may be a catwalk, but the dogs have taken center stage at this pet fashion show in Shanghai. I'm Philip Brossard. Take care. We'll see you next time.